Welcome everyone today for another mystical conversations. Myself and Jonathan, we're going to talk about the importance of being consistent when it comes to the spirituality. I'm just waiting for Jonathan to join me and then we can get everything started.
And now we're finally connected.
Yes, greetings, brother. Greetings. How you been?
Feeling marvelous. Can't complain. Feeling marvelous. And yourself?
I've been doing good as well. Just, doing a lot of planning and putting things in place to, make efficient of the time that is happening right now.
Anything good that's been up in the works before we get in our little discussion?
I've been waiting on a couple stuff to get here. That would create a part of my tools or my supplies or equipment that I use when I'm doing my spiritual works and so on. So I'm just waiting on that to get here. I'm excited about it. It's bigger, new things to come. So that's one of the things that's been in the works for the time.
Nice, nice, nice. You know, this year has been one that was filled with a lot of ups and downs and a lot of things for everyone. And as we get in our discussion today, we're talking about being consistent when it comes to spirituality. And a lot of people forget that this spiritual system, and when we're dealing with this type of spirituality, and it takes consistency. It's just like anything else. It's just like when you go to the gym and you try to exercise a physical body part. Spirituality is something that's consistent. And as we go into this new year and go into new things for everyone, I think that it's important that we make it known and that everyone focus and stay consistent. Consistency is how you end up being successful at this thing. It's not a one do one time and a one time fix. It's a consistent based thing, and I think that's the issue when it comes to the spirituality and with a lot of individuals.
Yeah, that is true, and consistency is important because it's like anything, it's like the gym, it's like martial arts. Going today and tomorrow alone wouldn't be sufficient, but it takes time and dedication you know, to understand and overstand all the little parts and details so that you could become, a master at your own art, a master at your own craft. So consistency, that is an important thing in anything you do, in anything, even in all types of spiritualities, that consistency and that discipline.
So, just when it comes to your form of consistency, because I'll say what I do to keep myself consistent when it comes to it. The three things every morning I do the deep rose meditation that I talked about last time. I do another meditation with the breathing because when you control your breathing, you're able to control a lot of things. Most people, when they're angry or they're out of control, they can't control their breathing. They're breathing heavy and they're pissed off. If you could control that and you could level it down into a patient factor, you'll be the master of your domain. So I learned that, and it's been helping me greatly, especially when it comes to the in-depth meditations that I do. And every morning, it's a part of my exercise routine because remember, the spirituality is keeping your mind right and aligning your mind and knowing that within you is where the power rests. Most people, what I see now, it's like a mix, but they will do something here, then do something there, and forget that. Be consistent. It doesn't matter if you do a little piece, but consistency, like with anything else, like when it comes to going to the gym, exercising your abs, your biceps, whatever it may be, you have to be consistent in order to see results. And that is what, when it comes to this form of spirituality, it takes a lot of consistency. And what would you say for someone who is trying to get into it now? And they're ready and they feel like it's their time and they feel like they are now jumping into it. What would be your advice to them?
My advice to that person would be always aim to learn every day. Whatever you learn now or whatever you think you may be about to learn, there is greater and more ahead. So the more you stay on the path, the more you study, research, meditate, pray, whatever your means of keeping that motivation there, you keep on doing that. And again, as rewarding as each step might seem, there's always steps further up that is more rewarding that you're yet to see. You know, um, there's always great things ahead, especially when you master each step, master yourself, master your surroundings, and everything. So that's really one of the advice, or some of the advice I would give to people who now would be beginning on this path, this journey. Yeah.
Because I get people who come to me all the time and they say, I'm being called by my ancestors, or I'm getting a calling, or I feel like something's going on. And I'll show them the ropes and I'll tell them this is what you got to do. And the issue that they have is always a consistent role. But I'm like, if you're serious about it, it could give you the right effects and you can get the great results that you're after. But you have to be consistent. It's a simple thing that I would say, especially when it comes to this spirituality, I would say take a spiritual bath. Are there any things you would recommend for a spiritual bath? Any of your personal recommendations?
Well, spiritual bath, I mean, it can be as simple as, uh, splashing yourself with some Florida water, Kananga water, and so. And it can go as deep as using a lot of different mixtures of herbs, especially herbs like Jamaican guinea hen weed and what's this hyssop is a great one. In terms of spiritual baths, I would give recommendations such as you know um, Jamaican guinea hen weed is a good one. Hyssop, extracts such as red lavender, using a little bit of ammonia. And so many different herbs you can use. Angelica, agrimony. And, once you combine some of these things, it creates this cleansing effect, this cutting effect on certain negative energy that has been blocking your path in certain ways, certain things that may be holding you back, like little energetic baggages and burdens. Even something as limes, lemons, these things all act in cutting away these negative energies within that bath that people may be taking. So that's some of the ingredients that goes into making baths.
You know what's one of my favorite spiritual baths? I like using honey and cinnamon powder. And the honey and cinnamon powder, it just after I'm out of it, and I would recite Psalms 35. And I got something too for Psalms 35 that the folks that want to try this could try. When people always want to learn a little bit of Obeah, a little bit of the spirituality, this is something great. But I'm gonna talk about it later on. Um, the honey and the cinnamon powder, when you put it in a bath and do the little Psalms 35 along with it, it after you come out, you feel your mind feeling opened, and you just surrender your mind completely to the Psalms. And I'm telling you, it works wonders. I love it. And plus, the other effects of with the honey and the cinnamon, it also gives you nice skin, and it helps with your skin and everything else. So, but I love that bath. It's a great one. The Jamaican guinea hen weed that you brought up, that is amazing. I like that when you boil it, and from the water off of boiling it, you use it, and that's also a good one. People could also use that and scrub their floors too.
Yeah, that's true. And like anything too, let me just mention really quick, like anything, whatever you do spiritually, you must have an intention and you must have that prayer to back it up. So for people who take baths, you don't just take stuff and start pouring it on your skin, but you set an intention. You probably find a suitable psalm that deals with cleansing and releasing negative energy, or you can formulate your own types of prayers that will help release this negative energy. That's important as well.
The intention is important. That's the same thing when I get people come to me, and they will tell me things like, "Oh, this didn't work," or that, or "I had this in my mind," or doubt, and automatically I would say, "What was the intention?" Our intention set the tone. Remember, the intention goes along with the law. The next law and a part of the laws of mind that follow is what brings to life the intention that you envisioned or what you put out there. So some people will want something or they'll do something or say, I want to imagine or bring this to life or I'm doing this in my spiritual work and it's not working because deep in their heart they're still doubting and don't believe that it's going to happen. So that's what I learned too when it comes to this, that your belief system has to be solid. You have to look at it as your everything and know that it is your everything. And for me personally, I think you have to marry your beliefs. You know, most people don't marry it. When I say married, I mean like it has to become your everything. To where even if the outside world is looking like something different, even if you think everything is falling apart, the pieces in the puzzle are not there. You have to create it. And your belief, when I tell people you want to come and deal with this, you got to not think like everyone else. Sometimes you might look at the news and the news might mess you up and you might think about it. And that last image of what you see, now it reflects in you and your outside world only mirror what your inner world is. So you can see someone that is just having nonstop hell come their way, and it seems like hell after hell is hitting them. And they say, I'm a spiritual being, what's going on? You have to say, what is your true intentions and your true beliefs? Because the true you is being manifested. And it's a hard pill for some to swallow, but that's why consistency and the importance of being consistent in this is everything.
Yeah, that's true. And beliefs, again, beliefs is a powerful thing because your mind, your thoughts are actually faster than the speed of light. So, wherever you are in life, whatever you're going through or whatever is to come is a product or a manifestation of what you have thought or believed in the days prior or the weeks, months, or years prior. So we can create and shape a reality based on, these beliefs. And like you said, you touched on an important point that, the way media is going to portray certain things out there, everybody's going to be influenced to think one straight way. So I always challenge people to, hey, look deep within and find that strength to overcome the fear that is being put to you to cause you to think or believe a certain way. So for example, there may be a situation where you're without food or without money, but if you believe enough that something is going to happen or will make its way, it would present itself and you would be like shocked. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't expect that to happen because you believe it deep within. You didn't doubt it. From the moment you start doubting, that is when you open the avenue for things to go wrong. Now, this is what happens. When things start to go wrong, it starts to shake your belief. It shakes it little by little. And once something comes, a situation comes that is unfavorable, some people are not strong enough to endure that. So that starts shaking their belief little by little. And then the more it shakes, the more they start losing their confidence and their determination and their discipline. And then once that gets shaken, then things would start going bad. Things would start falling apart here and there because people lost that discipline when that trouble started etching at their belief.
You know why? When it comes to belief, I always tell people, and when I do my teachings and I have my little Zoom classes and everything, I always say, do you believe that tomorrow the sun is going to rise? You got to have a belief system like that. Believe in your work. Because if you're doing a spirituality and you're consistent with it, and you know that what you're doing is something that you believe in, you do it with full volition. You have the conviction in you that it is going to be what you predicted, what you put out there, you know it's coming back and it will manifest. It's only when a little bit of doubt comes in and it seeps in and the individual who thought they were equipped spirituality get defeated by the outside world when they succumb to the problems that they see in the outside world, not knowing that your internal you is the real you. It creates. Remember, it says the kingdom of heaven is within. So if you know about this kingdom, this is the same thing that the whole Kabbalah talks about when it talks about the tree of life and everything. This is a whole story that is dealing with the inner consciousness of man, because we are the magicians, the manifestors, the artificer, the creator. But many forget this. And so they wind up falling to what they see, and it challenges their belief. You ask the average Christian, right? Do you really, really, really believe in God? They will say, yeah. But if something bad happened, automatically, oh, it's the devil. You can't say that it's the devil if you really believe in God. Like, what happened? Like, you can't blame me. That's praying both ways. You can't be double-minded. You can't say one thing and then go back on it and flip it and go to the other. And that's where I see a lot of people go wrong when it comes to the system. I see the most diehard spiritualists or the most person that say they're the most diehard spiritualists, and then they mess it up. And when it's like that, I'm like, no, you got to believe, you got to be rock solid, because this stuff is amazing. It's like it's an amazing spiritual system when you see it and you are consistent with it, because it only gives you what you give it. So if you do it all day and then when everything is over, you go out and you are completely not believing completely into what you just done, you're sabotaging yourself.
Mm. Yeah, that's so true. That consistency is always the key. You know, that motivation. That's the thing. A lot of people they're not motivating themselves. Some people look outside for the motivation, but they forget that motivation lies within. So simply look at yourself now and where you want to be in the future. What do you want to achieve? What kind of impossible thing is there that you've seen people do before and you want to do? So that's gonna, hey, motivate you. It's gonna be like, I want to do this one day. I want to be able to do this. So that there's motivation for you people. When you become motivated and you motivate yourself, then that consistency to get to that goal would be there. And when you reach that goal, you have another goal set. So when you reach that one, you now consistent enough to get to the other one. Yeah.
I was back. This is what I think with the Psalms 35. When I said earlier, this is a good little Obeah practice and bring us back to belief. And this is where the folks that's watching this, they could do this at home, and this is how you can test your belief system. You can take Psalms 35. You gotta get a pen, a piece of paper. You gotta write out the whole Psalms. Psalms 35, to plead my cause, O Lord, strive with me, and the whole psalm from the beginning to the end. And then you take a lighter, a match, whatever it may be. You light the whole psalms until it's in ashes. You get a bowl. You let the ashes fall in the bowl. Now, just make sure your hands are clean. You have to wash your hands, because you're going to wash your hands clean now. What you're going to do now with the ashes now, you're going to rub the ashes in the palm of your hand. The whole ashes that you just burnt. Rub the ashes until it's gone and the ashes are no more, as if it was like lotion. Now, the next step that you're supposed to do, and this works when you really believe and you really do it well, you are now to go out, buy a scratch off, buy anything, play any game of chance, and with those hands, touch it. You will win a little something here, a little something there. It will work wonders. And that's one of the things I want to leave the folks with, and I want to give them, and I want y'all to try it. Message me, whatever, and I want to, because this is amazing. I mean, if you do it with complete volition, and no doubt, you will see how it will manifest for you. And that's a good little tactic right there.
Wow, I like that one. I love how every time we connect with spiritual people, we always learn little tips and tricks that. So that's why I always tell people it's important to be good to people and to connect. So, we all hold a piece of puzzle for somebody else's puzzle piece. Everybody within the world holds a piece of puzzle to somebody's finished puzzle piece to be able to finish it. you know. And that moves me to mention this too about a particular scripture when it comes to even finances and so on. Although yes, Psalms is also known as a spell book, there's also this other scripture I want you all to go look at. It's Ezekiel 4:9. Now in Ezekiel 4:9, they give you a couple ingredients, and those ingredients are said to feed somebody to make bread. But the bread that is spoken about within that scripture, although it can be used to make bread, the real bread it is talking about is not the physical bread you eat. The bread it is speaking about is that money. So once you get these ingredients in Ezekiel 4:9 and you put them in a jar, you see, you close that jar, you write the date on it, and you put it away for a full year. And in having that there, you will never be without. You will always have money. You will always have some form of income. So remember people, Ezekiel 4:9, those ingredients, you get them, you put them in the jar, cover it, leave it there for a year untouched. And then the next year, you just replace that with new ingredients. So, you know what I mean? Yeah.
God is my strength, Ezekiel. That's nice. That's nice. I like it when people are able to help each other. And remember, the psalm is Psalm 35. I seen somebody wrote what psalm, so I got to tell them Psalm 35. It's Psalm 35. What you got to do, I'm gonna repeat it one more time because I see people asking. You write Psalms 35 from the Bible. You're supposed to write it out yourself on a piece of paper. It could be a brown paper bag, a white piece of paper, as long as it's a piece of paper. You're writing it because within your mind, your attention is already set. This is going to draw out the real intention that you have. So you're writing it out with the intention already set, and the psalm is just basically talking about plead my cause, O Lord, strive with them that strive with me, fight against them that fight against, like the whole psalm is basically asking the Lord for help. And who is the Lord? The Lord lives within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. This intention that you set in your mind is already putting it in motion. So now you burn that psalms, that piece of paper that you wrote the psalms on, into ashes. Make sure your hands are clean, completely washed. And you're supposed to rub the ashes all in your hands until it's gone, as if it's like lotion. And you go out and buy yourself, play a game of chance, go to the casino, do whatever you want to do, and you should be hot with those hands should be hot. I want you all to try it and message us. We can talk about it. I like to hear the results everyone get. I have some of these results on my site, but I like to hear the results. So I would love to hear how everyone manifests with that.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. I love hearing, other people's results. I like to hear what's going on for them, because when somebody gets joy and pleasure in their results, I feel that joy and pleasure as well,
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
So, where can everyone find you? Give us a link. Let us know about the YouTube. Let us know about the website. Where could we find you? Where could everyone find you?
Well, I'm on YouTube. I think my YouTube name is Mystic Abba. If you type in Mystic Abba, it should show up. If not Mystic Abba, type Abba Obasi like my Instagram name. And I'm also here I am on Instagram, Abba_Obasi, ABBA_OBASI. And I'm also on Facebook, but I don't use Facebook that much. On my Facebook name is Samir Obasi Batik Shabazz L. So anybody who's on Facebook and you're not on Instagram or YouTube, well, you could still find me if you're not on YouTube, but I'm on Facebook as well. Yeah.
And I'm going to have the link to your YouTube channel on this. So it's going to be linked to you. So we're going to hook that up. And, y'all can find me on YouTube, Mystical Thinking with Rachelle Dixon. Subscribe to the channel. Go to mindworthyinfo.com. And you can also get some more with the teachings and subscribe to the newsletter. And I want y'all all to practice that. Take the baths that we mentioned. You can find a lot of this stuff in your supermarket. The honey and cinnamon powder you can. The guinea hen weed, depending on what markets you go to, you can find it. So all of this stuff is where you can find it locally. And what's the most important part of all of this is that we talked about earlier. Being consistent and having that rock solid belief and knowing who you are. Most people forget who they are. That's a tricky question depending on who you ask. They say, huh? It's like, when you know who you are, you know that the world is, creation is coming, life is flowing through you. Life is not coming at you, but coming through you. So when you understand this concept and this aspect of the laws of mind, you'll understand that you are the creator of what goes on, because everything that's happening now is a manifestation of something that you had planted in your mind or some thought that has now come to you. good, bad, or indifferent. It's just the way the universe works. We just try to learn how to bend it and control it to at least make it manifest to our will. You know, that's the purpose, I believe, of the spiritualists, and that's what we all are, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, and those are some great words. And you know, I would always say this again. People always be consistent. Always remember, as you know, as my brother just said, remember who you are because that is the most important thing. Once you remember who you are, there is nobody or there's nothing that could come to get to you to influence you in any way to do something you don't want to do. You know, once you know who you are, once you know thyself, then you realize that you can be all the way to the top of wherever you want to be and going higher.
Mm, love it. Love it. Well, my brother, until next time, we got to definitely link up again. It's always learning when we link up. It's always teaching the people as well. I love doing it. I know you love doing it. You love helping the people too, just like myself, and teaching them and just seeing people progress. So I want y'all to try what we recommended, do what we had said, and let us know your results. I know it's amazing, and I look forward to connecting with more people and connecting with everyone else.
Yeah, definitely, definitely looking forward to that. Always, always. This is the thing that I love too, that I always remember. Every day is a learning process. Even more
Yeah,
than I enjoy, this is what I live for, you know, for to learn every day. And that is what everybody should remember and live for too, to remember that they're learning every single day.
yeah.
Yeah,
I value knowledge, man. Learning, like I could sit down, read books, and study all day. Like that makes me happy. Like that is my joy. So next time, brother, everyone, it's always love. Links to the YouTube channel. Check them out. Check us out. And so next time, it was a good one. You have a good one, my brother Jonathan.
everybody stay blessed, peace and paradise, and we'll definitely see you again in someday in the very near future.
Blessings.
Blessings.